Today, we're going to be going over how much money I made in 1 year selling on TCGPlayer. Now, this video is going to go through all the numbers and have some little tips and tricks if you're thinking about starting a card business, whether that be on eBay or Instagram, Facebook Marketplace. But primarily, it's going to be focused around TCGPlayer because I found that's the easiest way to input your inventory and get your cards out to the most people with the least amount of work. So before I get into it, I'd like to thank everyone who has joined me on this journey. My first video was opening, I think, the Pokemon Academy, just as kind of a test. And, I did it for a while. I made a bunch of videos opening. I tried different TCGs. It wasn't just Pokemon. It was, Magic, Digimon, Shadowverse, and really trying to find what inventory was right for me. Which games brought in the most profit and were easy to find. But again, thanks everyone, your comments, everything like that. And if you're new to my channel and you're wondering how I do things, just leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer and let you know. So let's get into just the numbers. So I pulled the report for the last year. Now, keep in mind for this, I did get lazy at the end of the year and I didn't post any new inventory for about 4 months. I was still packing up my previous ones and sending it out, but it went from, 50 orders a day, things like that, to about maybe 1 or 2 a week, just because most of the good cards were already sold and people were just, picking here and there. And I had cards, I just wasn't listing them. So let's look at it. So overall, $16,746.55 in gross sales, spread over 1,339 orders that I had to pack up. That's quite a bit, quite a high amount of orders. I'm a one-person business here, and this is in my, my extra room. I'm doing all this in. The total fees, so what TCGPlayer took from me is $2,263.74. This sounds like a lot, but you have to remember what value they're giving you on TCGPlayer. They're hosting the website, the inventory, it's such, and the marketing, it's such a big platform. Everyone knows who want to buy cards. They either do it on eBay or here. As far as the shipping amount, so if someone orders anything below $5, it adds on, I think, $1.20 something. So those all add up. That is a lot in shipping. Of course, they take a little cut for fees and everything, but that's fine. Here's where it gets a little interesting. The total refunds, $221.46. And you're probably wondering, well, what were those refunds for? So there's a couple things. So on the table, I have a bunch of cards that came back to me. Most of these, because the post office puts exactly why it came back, and most of them could not forward to the correct address, return to sender, not an actual deliverable address. And these are things you can't really stop. Like if someone moves and their forwarding address, is wrong or something, it might come back to you. So they were asking where are my cards, and they're obviously in my hands. So I would ask them, well, can you give me a new address? But most people are like, just give me a refund. So luckily I got to keep those cards, but there are other cards that never made it to their destination, whether it got lost in the post office or it took too long to get there, or they lied and just said it never came. I noticed that if you are going to sell, a lot of people in other countries use shipping forwarding companies. So you would ship your cards to that warehouse and then they'd ship it to another country. And sometimes that takes so long that people are like, hey, where are my cards? And you're like, you ordered $2 worth of cards. There's no tracking. So here's your money back. It's unfortunate, but this is the cost of business. And when you look at $16,746 and only $221 of returns, you just have to factor that in. It's just the cost of business Just like Walmart knows there's going to be people that, they might have damaged product, which they have to, throw away or sell at a discount, or people steal, or people lose it, things like that. So it's just a part of the business that you have to get used to. You will be doing refunds for things that are out of your control. There was one person out of all of this that was unhappy with the quality of the cards because I sold them a Digimon card, and the foil, how some foil cards kind of, they curve and bend, and he was not happy about that. And so what am I going to do? We're talking maybe like $10. I was just like, I'm not going to fight it because, you don't want someone going and putting in terrible reviews. So I'm like, it's $10. It's part of the operation. Here's your money. Moving on. So my net sales minus fees is $14,311.17. Now, I wish I could say all of that went to my pocket, but it didn't, because I still have to buy the cards. I have to get them from somewhere. And the next screen I'm going to show you is what I held on to, kind of. And I say kind of, and you'll see why in a second. So moving on. So I have this Charles Schwab account where I dump all the money. I have a checking account in there, and then I have, my stocks that I put in. So this channel, my card business, is 100% devoted to my retirement. So that's why I'm not spending a single penny of it. Everything I make as far as profit goes into one of these ETFs. And I'm doing pretty good. So when you look at this account is worth $8,095.03, you have to take in consideration the stocks went up. So the stocks that I had went up $689.93. So we can just minus this from here. And so my take home money was about, math. So it's going to be about $7,300. So out of this amount, I took about half, half of this in profit. This is just a bonus at $689. That's what I do. Everything rolls into my retirement account. I also have $200 in cash right here, and I hold on to that because I started this business with $0. I opened 2 credit cards, and I put everything on those. One credit card is for operational expenses, so things like my printer, ink, envelopes, non-card inventory. And the other card's for inventory, where I just go crazy and buy as many cards as I want. And then I just pay the statement balance off. That way I'm not hit with interest. And on top of that, I do get a 1.5 cash back. It adds up. It really does. It's a nice little bonus. But the beauty of it, and what I suggest everyone to do if they want to start a business with zero money, assuming you're 18, you can get credit cards in your name and everything, and your credit is okay. It doesn't have to be great. I think my credit score was like in the 600s, like low 600s when I opened these cards. And as a bonus, my credit got better from this because I was constantly buying and paying it off. Just be sure to pay off, the statement balances. You don't want to get hit with interest if you're going to do the method that I'm doing. But we're going to get into the reason right now why I opened credit cards. So I opened specifically these 2 Capital One credit cards, the Quicksilver and the Saver. And the reason is you get a pretty fat bonus. So if you open a Quicksilver card and you spend $500 within 3 months, they give you $200. It's just free money because you're going to spend $500 in inventory. So it made starting the business less scary because I was getting $500 worth of cards at $300. And then I opened this one, which also had the same bonus. And I did the same thing. So if you're looking to start a card business with $0 and and really get those bonuses, basically $400 free dollars, I have some affiliate links in the description. And just so you know, if you click on those links and sign up for a credit card and you're approved, they give me $150, which then I will go and buy probably a booster box of some sort and sell the cards. And it's just very appreciated. If you found this video useful and you want to do the credit card method and you don't have these already, just be sure to check the links in the description. And if you do, you get approved, leave a comment and just let me know what you think I should buy with that 150. It's going to be more cards to sell. Just let me know. It's gonna be anything but Pokemon prismatic evolutions, because I'm not spending $100+ for an ETB. That is crazy. So moving on to the next thing is, well, I have to show you the credit cards. Oh no, it timed out. Hold on. I'm just gonna sign back in, so there might be a little cut here. All right, we're back in business. Ignore my auto loan. That is on a Subaru Outback, by the way, if you're curious. Great car. Love Subarus. You should get one for reliability, great in snow. Anyways, here's my 2 credit cards. So we have the operational expenses as $8.04 on it, which I think those were 2 big orders I sent out because I added tracking on it. It was about $4 to track and send. And then my inventory, it's at 0. All the cards behind me, all the cards in my closet over here, all the cards, that are in boxes just everywhere on the floor, they're already paid for. Everything I sell is now profit. And then you notice the rewards cash. So I have $32.71. I've been using this card. The cash back is only 1.5. You might be tempted to use this, but don't do it. This money is to basically lower the cost of your inventory a little bit. I know it doesn't sound like much, 1.5, but it adds up. It's, yes, your limit may be, let's say you get a limit of, I don't know, $1,000 on your credit cards for each one. You are going to be buying $1,000 worth of cards. And remember, you're going to get that $200 credit. That's really $800. You're going to list everything. It's going to sell almost immediately. And then you're going to keep constantly, I was putting hundreds of dollars on that credit card probably every other day. Once the checks started rolling in from TCGPlayer, it was like, all right, I paid, I made a $500 payment. I bought $600 worth of card. I made $200 payment. I found a good deal at, Target or something. I don't know why I said Target. Target doesn't really have good deals. Found a lot of good deals at Barnes & Noble. But anyways, but then you buy them, and then it's just constant churning, and that cash back and the rewards and everything, it just, it just hits. And that's how you constantly have a flow of inventory. But with this method, you can't just go ahead and take out that cash. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to buy some cheeseburgers with my profits. No, it has to sit in a bank account just in case you're having an off week or an off day and not many people are buying things. So the last thing that I wanted to ask everyone and get your opinion on, and please leave this in the comment, is now that Pokemon's blowing up like crazy again in 2025, should I go ahead and buy these 4 Pokemon Center ETBs at $50 each? It's Astral Radiance, but there's not many of the ETBs on Pokemon Center anymore, and I'm wondering if these are going to sell out. But just let me know in the, and behind me right there, I have 4 of the Fusion Strikes ones. Kind of as a test. I didn't know if this investing thing would pan out. So that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. I'll be sure to answer it. The community might jump in and answer it too. There's a lot of knowledge out there. And be sure to only open these credit cards if you are responsible with credit. If you're not going to pay off the balance in full at the end of every month, then just don't even do it. Just stay away from it. You're better off just saving up some money. And I'll go out and donate blood if you have to. It helps everyone out. People need blood. You get a couple extra dollars, and then you can fund your card selling business. You don't have to start out with tens of thousands of dollars. I didn't do that. So with all that being said, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch everyone next time.